Good evening. The April 23rd, 2019 meeting of the Marion County School Board is called to order. For the courtesy of those listening to the meeting, I am requesting everyone in the audience please turn off your electronic devices or put them on vibrate. Later in the meeting, up to 30 minutes will be provided for individuals to address the board on matters. Thank you. Later in the meeting, up to Later in the meeting, up to 30 minutes will be provided for individuals to address the board on matters concerning the operation of the Marion County school system or the school board only. Presentations to the board are limited to 5 minutes and are televised. If you wish to address the board regarding a regular agenda item or matters on which the board customarily takes action, you must first complete a peach form located on the table in the hallway. If you wish to address the board regarding a public hearing or a student discipline matter, please complete a lime green form. These forms must be fully completed and received by the board secretary no later than 5:40 p.m. The procedures applicable for each are on a separate sheet. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Mrs. Beth McCall, District 2. Mrs. Nancy Stacy, District 1. Here. Mrs. Nancy Thrower, District 4.
Here.
Mr. Eric Cummings, District 3.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly King, District 5.
Here.
Dr. Heidi Mayer, Superintendent.
Here.
Mr. Paul Gibbs, School Board Attorney.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Mark Ingram, Curriculum and Instruction Secondary Program Specialist, please introduce the following individuals who will be providing the inspiration and leading us in the pledge this evening.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Mayer. For tonight's inspiration, Chloe Lundeen from Dunellen High School will read a selection from her essay that won Governor Ron DeSantis' Black History Month essay contest. Following that, Marion County Spelling Bee winner Raghav Nandur and runner-up Elizabeth Giffen will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
James Armistead Lafayette performed perhaps the greatest act of service one can. He helped America win its independence from Britain during the Revolutionary War. Without his service, America and Florida may never have existed. Though Armistead was an invaluable spy in the final months of the Revolutionary War and instrumental in America's victory, his service was hardly noticed aside from Generals Lafayette and Washington. In fact, his status as a spy exempted him from the emancipation granted to all slave soldiers by the Act of 1782, forcing him to return to slavery after the end of the war. For several years, Armistead fruitlessly petitioned Virginia legislature for his freedom. The Virginia General Assembly didn't grant him his freedom until 1786, when he provided a signed letter from Marquis de Lafayette attesting to Armistead's right to freedom. January 9, 1787, James Armistead the slave became James Armistead Lafayette, a free man and a citizen of Virginia.
Thank you.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
And those young people will be back later as we acknowledge them and get some more background on why they're here tonight. It's very exciting. So, I recommend approval of the agenda as amended to reflect moving JD 19-134 from item number 27.1 with services to item number 27.2 without services as supported by the documentation, and also with the exception of item C1 7.3, which has been moved to discussion for tonight's April 23rd, 2019 school board meeting, with the materials in the board packet, those materials distributed to board members at the meeting, and the audio recording included as part of the official record of the meeting.
Thank you. May I have a motion in a second?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Cummings. Second. Second by Ms. Thrower. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And those that oppose, like sign. And the motion passed 4-1, or 0, excuse me. I'm used to my 5. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the February 12th, 2019 school board meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Thrower,
Second.
second by Mr. Cummings. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the motion passed 4-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the February 21st, 2019 administrative briefing and work session?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Cummings. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Stacy. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, and the motion passed 4-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the February 26, 2019 school board meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Ms.
Second.
Thrower, second by Mr. Cummings. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, and the motion passed 4-0. Ms. Jennifer Beck, Director of Elementary Education, would like to recognize the following Arts for All Florida student winner.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, board members, Dr. Mayor, Ms. Martinez-Lopez, and Mr. Gibbs. This evening, I have the pleasure of introducing the adults that are going to be recognizing one of our fabulous students from South Ocala Elementary, whose name is Mr. Jake Hunt. Joining me to recognize him this evening is his teacher, Mr. Chancery, his principal, Mrs. Calloway, his mom and his aunt, Mrs. Boney and Mrs. Ruiz from the district office, and Mrs. Pat York, who is the Regional Director for Arts for All, and she is a former employee of Marion County Public Schools for many, many years. I got to hear her whole story out in the hallway, and she first became familiar with Arts for All under a different name when she was at Maplewood Elementary. So here to tell us a little bit more about this award and to recognize this fabulous student is Mrs. Pat York.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Dr. Mayor, and board members. It gives me great pleasure to be here representing Arts for All. For those of you who are not familiar with the organization, we aim to create a world in which arts is universally accessible throughout the state of Florida. We are headquartered at the College of Education at the University of South Florida. We provide artist and residency programs in the schools and Department of Juvenile Justice facilities. In Marion County this year, Hillcrest School, Marion Oaks Elementary, Marion Youth Academy, and Marion Juvenile Detention Center received residencies. And as a culminating activity, there was an exhibition of student artwork displayed at the Appleton Museum of Art. Another program is our Student of the Month recognition, and that is why I'm here tonight. This is a highlight of my job, and I am pleased to announce 8-year-old Jake Hunt as one of the March 2019 Students of the Month. Jake was nominated by Mr. Chancery, his classroom teacher at South Ocala Elementary. Described by Mr. Chancery as a student who comes alive when you place art supplies in his hands, Jake shares his artistic joy with everyone he can. Until recently, due to Jake's lack of language development and limited communication skills, he was thought to be deaf or hard of hearing. Through further evaluation, his auditory processing concerns are being tackled with not only advanced electronic technology, but good old-fashioned art making. Mr. Chancery writes, Jake truly uses his art as an expressive communication tool. His artistic talents have enabled instructors to better understand the level of content he has learned and the process from the world around him. Jake has graduated from many self-contained classrooms to enjoying mainstreamed science classes, an area he loves exploring. Kathy Ruiz, an ESE specialist for curriculum, writes, I just continue to be impressed with Jake's enthusiasm for learning, his artistic abilities, and his eagerness to help others. He has overcome many adversities and continues to surprise me with his tenacity. He may have difficulty communicating with words, but his artwork speaks volumes. The Student of the Month program is designed to increase public awareness and recognize the impact art makes on students with disabilities statewide. Students who participate in the arts develop creativity, have increased self-confidence, understand teamwork, have less discipline problems, and are generally more engaged. I want to thank the school board for continuing to fund art education in Marion County. I cover 19 counties, and many of them have deleted their art classes and art programs. So thank you very much. This award is not just a school, city, or county award. This competition covers the state. So this is a big deal. Jake will be receiving a personalized trophy that is a sculpture and a one-of-a-kind art piece. So I would like to have Jake come forward along with his support team. We've got, like I think we said, his mother, his aunt, Mr. Chancery, his teacher, Mrs. Calloway, his principal, Kathy Ruiz from curriculum, and Corey Boney also from ESE. So you are a very lucky young man, and you have a lot of people who really care for you and are rooting for you. And here is your lovely trophy.
Oh, look at his little face.
Thank you so much.
Ms. York, before you leave, we just need to acknowledge that when you were at Maplewood, this whole project in its previous form was your baby, your thing.
When I was at Maplewood, we received a state grant from, back then it was called Very Special Arts. And that allowed us to do a festival at the school for the kids with disabilities. But we made it a school-wide event. And the really nice thing that is still happening at Maplewood is they are still doing the festival every year on a much smaller scale because the state is no longer funding festivals, unfortunately. But
Well, I think a very nice thing as well is that you now took that to the state, and this is across the whole state of Florida because of your vision.
well, it's lots of fun. I really enjoy it, and it's really nice that I'm here in Marion County. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. York, just thank you so much for your ongoing commitment to our kids. And we have a horse fever horse, I believe, out in front of Hillcrest as a result of the resident program and having an artist be with the kids. So it is incredibly, incredibly important. It's everything that's good about public education. So thank you.
We look forward to doing the residencies again next year, the beginning of the school year. We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Jake.
Congratulations.
Mr. Mark Ingram, Curriculum and Instruction Secondary Program Specialist, would like to recognize the following essay contest winner for Governor Ron DeSantis and the First Lady Casey DeSantis 2019 Black History Month student essay.
Good evening again, Madam Chair, board members, and Dr. Mayor. On March 20th, Governor Ron DeSantis and First Lady Casey DeSantis announced the 2019 Black History Month student essay contest winners. This year's theme was Celebrating Public Service. The winners were honored at the Florida Governor's Mansion and awarded 4-year Florida Prepaid College Plan scholarships provided by the Florida Prepaid College Foundation. Marion County was pleased that one of our very own was selected as the high school essay contest winner. At this time, I would like Dunellen High School Principal Wade Martin to make tonight's student introduction.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, board members, Dr. Mayor, Mr. Gibbs, and Mrs. Martinez Lopez. Tonight I want to reintroduce Chloe Lundeen, a sophomore at Denellen High School. She is an amazing student. During her time at DHS, she has accumulated the following accolades. In 9th grade, she placed first in the district in the National History Fair Day essay portion of the competition. In 10th grade, Chloe came in first place in the VFW Post 4864, that's Citrus Springs Voice of Democracy essay contest. She later went on to place third in the Voice of Democracy district level competition. She also placed second in this year's National History Fair Day essay portion of the competition and will compete in this year's State History Essay Contest. Chloe is currently competing at her church in a competition called the International Teen Talent, where she will be entering a poem. Chloe, as you heard, came in first place in the Florida Black History Month essay competition. And as you just heard a few moments ago, Chloe shared an excerpt from her essay. I want to quickly thank Miss Alice Kennedy, who urged Chloe to enter this competition and who is here this evening to support Chloe. And now I would like to give Chloe an opportunity to share her experience at the Governor's Mansion with you. Chloe Lundeen.
This was an incredible honor and actually a huge surprise. Miss Kennedy urged me to enter this contest. It was a very rushed thing, very last minute. The day I submitted it, I had to make several alterations to the paper, and I didn't think that I had any chance of winning. I believe that the alterations I had to make took my paper completely out of the running. But the last day of school before spring break started, my mom got a call from the governor's office saying that I had won the entire contest. There's only one high school winner throughout the entire state out of thousands of students, and that just happened to be me. And it was an incredible experience. The day of the ceremony, a luxury charter bus came from Miami and picked up my entire family and took us to the governor's mansion, where I met the governor, Ron DeSantis, his wife Casey, Lieutenant Governor Nunez, multiple congressmen and women and senators and commissioners, more politicians than I thought existed. It was really an incredible opportunity and such a huge honor, and I'm just so very grateful.
My goodness.
This is the certificate that I got. I have my own bank account with the money for all 4 years of college that have been paid for.
Oh. Wait, come back.
Chloe, can you come back to the podium? We won't let you off that easy. So I'm just curious, are you interested in politics?
I am actually. I was more interested in criminal justice, but after competing in this essay contest, I actually have some pretty big aspirations for politics.
That could be your future home, that mansion. I don't know if you guys are good. Okay.
I just want to say, it's good to have a Denellen student win this contest, so congratulations, and we look forward to seeing greater things for you in the future.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a thrill. It's really a thrill. When you love to do something and you have a passion for it, to be able to indulge in it in this way, and hard work pays off, huh?
It really does.
Good for you.
And
Congratulations.
So many people, big things, they just don't even try because they automatically assume that they don't have a chance.
I didn't think I had. I almost.
But you know what? You still move forward. You didn't let that be a wall for you. You passed through the wall, and you dreamed. Yes. And so, we can't fail in life if we never try. So we try, and sometimes we aren't so fortunate. You were fortunate the first time, and I wish you so much luck in politics and in your future. And we can all relate to how you feel, because that's where we all came from, a world where we wanted to make a difference. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Mom. Just a reminder, too, remember that the Hispanic contest winner was from Marion County, too. So, yes, yes.
So impressive.
Yeah, some writers.
Yeah, that's great. We have a good culture here.
Ms. Lindsay Barber, Curriculum and Instruction Secondary Program Specialist, would like to recognize the Marion County Public Schools National History Day Fair winners.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Mayor. It's my pleasure to be here again to recognize some great students. Under the leadership of Superintendent Mayor, this was the second annual Marion County Public Schools National History Day Fair that Secondary Curriculum and Instruction organized. The National History Day is a nonprofit organization that creates opportunities for teachers and students to engage in historical research. Students learn history by selecting topics of interest to them and launching research projects. Set by National History Day, the theme for 2019 was Triumph and Tragedy in History. Beginning in the fall, the students and their teachers chose topics related to this theme and conducted primary and secondary research. And after analyzing all of these sources and drawing conclusions, they presented their work in an original paper, exhibit, performance, website, or documentary. And these first and second place district winners qualified for the state competition, Florida History Day, which is in Tallahassee, May 5th through 7th. The program will conclude at the National History Day competition that's held in June at the University of Maryland. So at this time, we would like to recognize the following National History Day fair winners. In the documentary category, Rashid Shaqib from Howard Middle School, Oliver Walker and Luke Myers from Osceola Middle School, Julie Gabriel and Elena Monroe from Osceola Middle School. In the exhibit category, we would like to recognize Brenda Bobrick from Lake Weir Middle School, Sophie Reed and Molly Taylor from Osceola Middle School, Amanda Egan and Isabella Zafra from Howard Middle School, Anne Marie Darius and Nakila Singhu from Vanguard High School. In the paper category, Tiana Young from Howard Middle School, Alexis Ashley from Osceola Middle School, Brittany Sands from Lake Weir High School, Chloe Lundeen from Dunellen High School. In the performance category, Logan Martin from Howard Middle School, Priya Karab from Howard Middle School, Anika Gopalan from Howard Middle School, Natalie Saint from Howard Middle School. In the website category, we would like to recognize Brendan McLaughlin from Howard Middle School, Seth Martin, and Sebastian Gonzalez, also from Howard Middle School. We would like to thank the board members who came out. I saw several of you there. I would also like to recognize the individuals who volunteered their time to judge projects and select the award winners that we're recognizing tonight. If you were a judge for History Fair, please stand and be recognized. We would especially like to thank Fort King Heritage Association for sponsoring a special award for local history, and members of the Ocala Daughters of the American Revolution, the Rainbow River Daughters of the American Revolution, the Sons of the American Revolution, and the Tea Party, who all sent judges, and it was their help who pulled this entire thing off. So we thank you, and we love seeing these students up here being recognized for history.
Thank you.
Pictures or pictures?
Feel free to come up and take pictures. I'm done.
Students, if, now that pictures are finishing up, if you would turn around and face the board for some of their comments.
Just clearly, the next greatest generation is outgrowing this room. I think we're going to have to do something about that. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you so much, and I hope you're thanking your parents, too, for pushing you in the right direction. Good job.
And I want to thank you because we get to meet the brightest and the best in this room. And it's so exciting because, you know what? You're going to be paying my Social Security one day. I want you to keep working hard, okay? Because we look forward to you passing the baton to you to run this school system and do the things that need to be done, because you're the people that are here and you're the people that will be doing it. So stay on track. Don't be swayed by friends, negative friends. Stay with positive friends. Don't listen to anyone that wants to tell you you're not, that you don't have, that your dream can't be reached. Stay with positive friends and let the negative ones, let the naysayers just go be by themselves, okay? Thank you.
Thank you guys for just doing what you're doing to represent Marion County, your families, and yourselves well. So thank you so much.
Keep up the great work and congratulations. Thank you.
And big kudos to your teachers and your families
Yes.
for everything they did to
Yes.
get you here, too. Way to go.
All about the network.
And you will look back on those teachers, your parents will look back on those teachers, and they will remember them and thank them for the leadership they gave, because I know all of us, our children, we know that there were great teachers that put our children where they're at today in successful places in life. And your parents will be forever grateful for your teachers, as I am for my children's teachers. So always thank them and be appreciative. Okay? Thank you.
Congratulations. I thought about it. It's also all for you. Good.
Thank you, Meredith. All right, Mr. Mark Ingram, Curriculum of Instruction Secondary Program Specialist, would like to recognize the Marion County Schools Spelling Bee winners.
Good evening again. Madam Chair, board members, and Superintendent Mayor. Every year, students have the opportunity to participate in Scripps National Spelling Bee, one of the nation's oldest and most iconic competitions, now in its 91st year. Under the leadership of Superintendent Mayor, Secondary Curriculum Instruction organized the annual Marion County Spelling Bee at MTI on February 20th. Students who qualified for the county spelling bee were first selected via class spelling bees or quizzes to qualify for their school-wide bees. 2 winners from each school-wide bee represented their schools at the Marion County Bee. The district winners went on to compete at the regional bee in Orlando this past March. The bee was sponsored by the GFWC Women's Club of Ocala and hosted by Bob Rose of the Bob Rose Show on WSky FM in Gainesville. The Women's Club of Ocala also provided judges, including spelling bee chairs Tula Bondank and Francis Colonia. Head Judge Carol Cameron is a teacher at Saddlewood Elementary. Dr. Heidi Mayer was in attendance to greet the crowd and present the medals to the winners, and Greg Cassidy, Bob Rose's co-host at WSky FM, served as the word caller and moderator. Thank you to the School Bee coordinators and media specialists, as well as their principals and assistant principals. The bee lasted just under 2 hours and 10 rounds, and the winning word was arachnid. That's arachnid. We would like to recognize the Marion County Spelling Bee winners in attendance tonight. First, the runner-up from Dunellen Middle School, Elizabeth Giffen. And the winner from Howard Middle School, Raghav Nandur.
Now's the time. You guys are just turn around, face them.
Face the music.
Hi. You guys have anything you want to say?
I would like to say congratulations for, in today's time where I'm always in such a hurry, I just talk to text, I don't ever have a clue how the spelling comes out until look at it the next day. Because I just don't take the time, but I bet you never do that. I bet you will always follow your spelling and what you do because you're so detailed. And I can so appreciate that. And congratulations, and that's just got to be such a joy to be able to express yourself and write it down without trying to go find out how to spell every word. You just already know. You were just born knowing, though, how to spell the words. So thank you.
And knowing your arachnids is rather important in Florida. And yes, it can save your life, actually. And when I think about that word, this is going to date me, but Reader's Digest and the word power section and just getting to know the definitions of words and how they're spelled, I always take a pretty big interest in the spelling bee. So congratulations to both of you.
Again, congratulations to both you guys. Wonderful job.
Yeah, congratulations, and keep up the great work. Proud of you guys. Good job. May I have a motion to adopt a proclamation recognizing the National Day of Prayer to be observed on the first Thursday of May, which is May 2nd, 2019.
So moved.
Oh, all right, I'm gonna say Pastor motioned it and Thrower seconded it. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those that oppose, like sign? Okay, I know. I just gotta make sure. Okay, and the motion carried 4-0. Mr. Kevin Christian, Public Relations Officer and TV Media Productions Director, please come forward with the reading and presentation of the proclamation.
I believe we have a young gentleman with us tonight who is accepting this proclamation.
We have a nice
Please
young
come
lady.
forward. Come on over here. I don't bite. I promise.
okay.
And tell us who you are.
I am PG Schaefer, Patricia Gale, which
There
is
you
where
go.
that comes
Okay.
from, so that's why you thought it was a young gentleman, so.
And this proclamation reads, whereas the Congress of the United States passed a law proclaiming the first Thursday of each May as the National Day of Prayer, whereas May 2nd, 2019 is the day set aside for Americans of all denominations to unite to pray for our people, our leaders, and nations, whereas the 68th consecutive observance of the National Day of Prayer recognizes the freedom to gather, worship, and pray, and whereas this year we are united once again in our prayers for the safe return of our extended family members serving in our military overseas. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Marion County School Board acknowledges May 2nd, 2019 as the National Day of Prayer and joins all citizens of Marion County, the state, and the nation in observing this important occasion, and each of you has signed this proclamation. So on behalf of the board and the superintendent, PG, I'll present that to you, and you're
All
welcome
right.
to share some words if you'd like.
All right, well, I just want to thank you guys for this, And National Day of Prayer is kind of been done in the downtown square for the last several years. It's sort of a grassroots committee of just regular folks that get together. Ed Wilson and a lot of the Tea Party people get together and help put that on each year. And so again, it will be May 2nd on the downtown square from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have various groups coming hourly to offer prayers for our local, state, and federal government and our leaders, local, state, and federal leaders, of course, all of you. And we thank you for what you do and know that you are all prayed for regularly, and we are very excited that Madam Chairwoman will be joining us to read this proclamation on the square, and we invite you to come. That will be at the 2 o'clock hour, so we invite all of you to come at that time to be present if you would like to join us. And again, various groups hourly throughout the day from starting at 8 a.m. until our last group will be First Baptist Church at 7 p.m. And so we hope to see all of you and all of Marion County to come and join us for National Day of Prayer, because I'm sure that you would attest to the fact that you certainly, with your very difficult job and what you do here, serving your community so well, are in need of prayer, as are we all. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for the proclamation.
Thank you.
Any questions from any of you?
I just want to say that we really get behind this proclamation because those of us that do believe know that prayer truly does change things.
Prayer changes things.
So.
Yes, sir, Pastor. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you down there on Thursday, a week from Thursday.
We'll be there.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I will now ask the school board's attorney to explain the rules governing persons who wish to address the school board tonight.
We have none at this time. You want to wait till after off air, or?
Yeah, if we don't have any, that's... We don't have any. Okay, then we are going to move forward. At this point in the agenda, a public hearing was scheduled before a hearing officer for any petitions filed regarding the 11 courses approved by the board at the March 12, 2019 school board meeting. Since no petitions were filed by the April 11, 2019, 11:59 p.m. deadline, there is no need for the public hearing to proceed, and staff may begin the ordering process of the materials for the courses approved by the board on March 12, 2019. With the exception of item C17.3, which has been moved to discussion, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items C9.1-C21.2? I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Cummings. Second by Ms. Stacy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion carried 4-0. May I have a motion to approve change order number 01, amendment work authorization number 1, deductive change order to construct a security fencing system and signage at Wyomina Park Elementary School as part of the new classroom and art music suite additions and district-wide security fencing project number 16-100 in the amount of minus $39,123.27. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Thrower,
Second.
second by Mr. Cummings. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion carried 4-0. May I have a motion to approve change order number 01, amendment work authorization number 3, deductive change order to construct a security fencing system at Reddick Collier Elementary School as part of the district-wide security fencing project number 18-106 in the amount of minus $53,310.04.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Cummings.
Second.
Second by Ms. Thrower. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion carries 4-0. May I have a motion to approve change order number 01 amendment work authorization number 43 deductive change order to construct a security fencing system at Forest High School as part of the district-wide security fencing project number 18-106 in the amount of $18,169.29.
What was the amount?
$18,169.29.
18,000 or negative 18?
Negative.
Okay. So move.
Okay, thank you. Moved by Mr. Cummings. Need a second by Ms. Stacy. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion passed 4-0. May I have a motion to approve the Career Source Apprenticeship Instructor Agreement?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Thrower,
Second.
second by Mr. Cummings. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion carries 4-0. May I have a motion to approve the external operator contract for Oak Crest Elementary School? And
So move.
moved by Mr. Cummings,
Second.
second by Ms. Thrower. Do we have any discussion?
I just want to add, this is a motion for cause because I just finished that up this morning, and because the board approved, as you know, at the last board meeting to negotiate with Ms. Elsperman, so we have to get this filed by May 1st with the state.
Good.
My only comment is hope we don't need it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the motion carries 4-0. May I have a motion to approve the following cash or tangible donations that have a total value of $17,667.24. Dell Portable Computer, tablet values at $1,139 to Marion County Public School Curriculum and Instruction Department from Dell Marketing LP. $1,000 to Evergreen Elementary School from Friends Recycling LLC. $5,000 to Forest High School from Forest High School Athletic Boosters, Inc. $1,000 to Forest High School from Harvey L. Young Family Foundation, Inc. $4,700 to Fort McCoy School from Cactus Jacks 2, Inc. $2,328.24 to Madison Street Academy from Madison Street Academy PTA. $2,500 to North Marion High School from their business partner, Collision Right Construction Corp. Via the Public Education Foundation.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Cummings,
Second.
second by Ms. Thrower. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion carried 4-0. Ms. Thrower, would you like to give our thanks?
Certainly.
Thank you.
I'm always happy and grateful to acknowledge the community and their support of our public schools. There's really no way that we could do it without you, and every 2 weeks, and I see the list, and it's always long, and sometimes it's really long. It's just incredible to me, the support that we have. So it's our commitment to do your dollars proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. The evaluation committee is set for April 25th, 2019 at 8:30 a.m. The purpose of this meeting is to interview for the appointed superintendent search firms. At 1 p.m., the interview evaluation committee will meet. The next regular administrative briefing and work session is scheduled for May 9th, 2019 at 9 a.m. The purpose of this work session is to discuss Paw Pal's BART bus, school start and stop times, district staffing plan, Camp SOAR update, ICROC procedures update, and rezoning Part 2 and MTI 3.0. Okay, and we're going to move along with our reports and concerns, and Dr. Mayer, we'll begin with you.
Awesome, thank you, ma'am. So Officer McBride, thanks for being here today. We appreciate you very much. And I want you to take an opportunity to give a shout out to your son's soccer team.
They're undefeated, so pretty awesome.
And they're the dark blue, they're the dark blue team at the Y. Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations to him, and just thanks for being here. We keep you and your colleagues in our hearts all the time. So, tomorrow is Administrative Professionals Day. Let's not forget that. And so, personally, every day personally, thank you, Elena, Thank you to Carolyn and Jackie and Nicole for keeping me organized and straight and keeping everything for the board nice and organized. And district-wide, we could not operate the district without all of them. So we thank them. I know that principals and directors will be taking care of everybody tomorrow and celebrating them. This Saturday is our job fair, and so our teacher job fair is this Saturday from 9 to 1 at Vanguard High School. We're doing it at Vanguard this year instead of MTI because we started the Career Academy, the Teacher Career Academy at Vanguard High, and so those students are going to step up and take some leadership with this event. We will have on-the-spot contracts available. Every school will be there. We will be giving priority interviewing to those turnaround schools, and we also will have community agencies there, childcare, apartments, real estate, things like that, so that it'll be for these people coming in who want to relocate to Marion County. It'll be an easier transition for them. And we already had a deadline to apply, and that was last week, but we will take walk-ins. So we hope that if you're interested, you will come and join us this Saturday, 9 to 1 at Vanguard High School. Then this Sunday is the Holocaust Day of Commemorance, and that is going to be here at MTI Sunday, April 28th at 5 p.m. This is the collaboration we have with the City of Ocala, so we are thankful to them as well for continuing that partnership. We'll also have student artwork, student displays in the lobby as we started that tradition, and that curriculum project has been underway for quite some time, and we want to give thanks to our folks in curriculum for spearheading that. It's truly it's a very touching event. Then coming up on May 4th, we had a gentleman from the community speak to us a while ago mentioning a professional development opportunity, and I promised that I would get the word out to our staff, and that professional development opportunity was the African American History and Pedagogy being held at UF, and I'm so excited to say that, of course, I kept my word, and right now we have over 30 of our employees registered, and so any of our folks who still want to go are welcome to sign up, but they'll be on a waiting list. So I'm very proud of our turnout, and I want to say thank you to Ms. Horn for jumping in there and making sure that our folks are taken care of with their professional development points. Thanks to Mr. McAteer and Ms. Beck for getting the word out. So again, Marion County rises to the occasion, and we will be well represented there. So we're excited about that as well. And today was the directors meeting. So every Tuesday, Dr. Grantham has a directors meeting with every director, every executive director, and I usually pop in, but today I stayed for the professional development part of it, and it was simply outstanding. And part of the discussion today was on this book called The Precious Present, and it was meaningful to all of us in a different way, but it emphasized the idea of being in the moment, and while we can reflect on the past and plan for the future, we don't want that to overcome our enjoyment of the moment. And I thought that was just a very profound message that was shared today within the context of what we do every day, and to take time and slow down and really celebrate the great things that we are doing. And then another point that came up too was stewardship. And I had a great conversation with Mr. Curley, one of our area directors, and then we shared out the fact that I think for the first time, our district office is really looking at things from a stewardship point, and it's not it's not at all anymore a top-down initiative. It's more of a stewardship initiative, and I think that has made all the difference, and I just want to thank all of our staff for making that happen. So it was a great day all around, and then ending up with all the celebrations here. What a great day. So thank you.
Mr. Gibbs? Lana, you have thank you. Ms. Stacy?
Well, this has just been a long personal week for me. I think I'll pass tonight.
Ms. Thrower?
Just a couple of things. I'm really looking forward to the job fair on Saturday, and I'm excited and hopeful that we're going to attract the teachers that we need to just keep the ball rolling forward. And just having the teacher program at Vanguard has been so wonderful. I've had a chance to see those students in action because they're volunteering at Oakcrest Elementary School, which is a high-needs school, and they're getting a chance to see what's really required of a teacher these days. So they're going into it with their eyes wide open, and they're still in the class, and it's almost the end of the school year, so I guess we didn't even run any of them off, which is great. So I think that that is a wonderful initiative, and I really think it's going to pay off for us in the future, so that's great. And also at Vanguard's had a lot going on. They had their career and technical showcase tour last week, which I was able to attend, and anyone that knows me knows it's animals and kids as far as I'm concerned in no particular order. And they're doing a veterinary assisting program there, and teachers and even people in the community can bring their dogs there, and the dogs can get groomed during the day and get their teeth cleaned, and they're learning all kinds of hands-on when it comes to animal husbandry. And the kids were so impressive. There were 2 already that are planning to go to vet school. They've got the grades to do it. And not just vet school, one of them wants to be a canine physical therapist.
Oh, wow.
So she's already specializing, and she's a junior, which is amazing to me, how dedicated they are and how passionate they are about education. And that just really speaks to me that that's what public education is for, is to offer the kinds of career opportunities so that kids can really graduate ready to take the next step and be those functional contributing Americans that we all need. So that was just so much fun. And then the hospital district and their partnership on the farm, no, on the farm, not farm, farm to school, or school to table, whatever it is, it's great.
Lots of vegetables.
Yes, and the salad and the lettuce is actually going to the cafeteria, and at first you think, what high school kid is going to hit the salad bar, but it's starting to take hold. So not only is that another great career opportunity, community partnership, but it's also a healthy initiative, which is always a good thing. So there's just a lot of good things happening. And then I just wanted to say, Ms. King, doing the voice vote really seemed to make things move quickly.
It did.
Yes, and there's something about the transparency of committing yourself to a vote by using your voice so the whole public can hear it. And I think that that's good, and it's a time saver. And I think that that helps the public, and I think that we as school board members, just to make sure that we really enunciate what our vote is so that people hear where we stand. So my only suggestion would be to build on what's going to, seems like it's really successful, is if we're not all unanimous, to make sure that we say, you know, what the vote is, so everyone knows where we stand on a particular vote. I just think that's important. And then my last thing in terms of transparency, I was thinking about this and just wanted to put it out there for a possible future work session. There's a lot of people in the community that work nights or work second shift. And I was talking with some other board members in other counties, and they actually have their work sessions, it's on a rotating basis, either in the morning and then in the evening on the opposite weeks, to give people that work all day a chance to attend a work session in the evening, because that is when a lot of the meat of our discussion takes place. And then I was thinking, well, then maybe we could do the same with the timing of the board meetings. 1 week have them in the evening, and then 1 week have it during the day. Again, to capture as much of the community as possible, because the more we invite them in and the more we have them be part of our process, the more successful we're going to be. So,
And that would give the teachers an opportunity to come to workshops.
exactly. So just, I don't know, wanted to run it up the flagpole, see who salutes. That's it.
Good evening, everybody. I do want to thank Dr. Mayer for pushing the initiative that former Senator Tony Hill sent down for the professional development. I did get a report that Marion County had over 30, actually had more than Alachua County, who's actually hosting this event.
Maybe we can host it next year.
I was pushing that, since they wanted to shut us, Marion County, out, that we would get it soon.
Okay.
Sooner than next year. But there is a way that some of us that are on that waiting list still want to go, we can get them in there. So just see me, and we'll get them on there. as well as the board members, because they're asking for board members to come as well. So I do want to thank you for pushing that. I also want to thank all of our organizations and individuals who are being good stewards of Marion County by investing their time, their talents, and their treasures into the Marion County Public School System. We have a great school district. We have great people that work in it. We have great students, and it's important that we continue, as you see every week with the donations that come in, that people believe in our schools, people believe in our students, and they believe in our teachers and the educators. So I want to personally thank them. One of those particular groups I do want to thank is the Marion County Retired Education Association. On last week, I met with them and had a brief luncheon with them. And in that luncheon, and these are people that have done their time. They've paid the price, and they've been teachers, and they've done 30, 40 years in the system. And yet they came together last week to give three scholarships, I think five scholarships of over $3,000 to kids that are going to be future teachers. So I was impressed with that, because right by now they're retired and they could be on the golf course doing anything else, but they are still thinking about making sure that we have great teachers in Marion County. So I do want to thank them for that. And then my concluding remark is to the parents that are listening to this or seeing this. Please have the conversation with your kids that we live in a day and age where things that were considered to be jokes or that were considered to be funny in the past are no longer considered to be funny, are no longer considered to be joke. It could be considered to be criminal. So we need to make sure that they're making good decisions, they're making positive decisions, and you're not having to come before us for an expulsion hearing because you made a bad decision on one joke that just went too far, one post that went too far. So please, parents, have that conversation with your kids. Have it often, have it consistently. Don't change the message, because we don't want to see our kids standing before us because they made a really, really poor decision. So again, we're looking forward to another week of work. Another week of work. So.
Another week of work is great. Ms. Thrower, if you're nervous about our verbal, if I didn't hear a yay by all, I have a few opposed like sign, and then the board member can say nay or no. So, but I was getting the consistent, so I didn't want you to think or worry about that later.
Okay.
Because you made that comment, so I was like, let me clear that up just a little bit. If I wasn't hearing it, then we would have done and sometimes I do say it anyways, but
Okay,
there you go.
perfect.
Okay, thank you. Before addressing expulsion matters, I wish to acknowledge that board members have received the alternative placement list for students through April 3rd, 2019. Ms. Martina Lopez, are there any parents who have submitted a timely request to speak on their child's disciplinary matter?
Yes, we have 3 off air.
We have 3 off air, okay. May I have a motion to approve the expulsion of student JD 19-133 with educational services for the remainder of the 2018-2019 school year and all of the 2019-2020 school year? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Stacy,
Second.
second by Mr. Cummings. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion carried 4-0. May I have a motion to approve the expulsion of student JD 19-131 and JD 19-132 without educational services through the remainder of the 2018-2019 school year and all of the 2019-2020 school year?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Cummings.
Second.
Second by Ms. Thrower. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the motion passed 4-0. We must protect the privacy of students, so we ask you to identify your child according to the JD 19-135, JD 19-136, and JD 19-134 code that appears on the superintendent's letter to you. I will be calling for a brief recess.
We have one off air
We have,
before we go, we have to clear the room, so.
okay. I will be calling for a brief recess to clear the room prior to discussing a student's discipline matter and for a parent that has requested to speak to us off air. Parents will then have an opportunity to address the board. This is not a due process hearing. It is only an opportunity for parents to express their concerns. Prior to the board considering the superintendent's recommendation for the expulsion, parents have had an opportunity to discuss options available to them. If the student is expelled, the school board staff remains available to talk with the parents about the alternative educational programs available for the expelled student. This concludes the televised and business portion of the meeting, and we are recessing at 6:31 p.m.